Fernando Tatis Jr. is a monster. There is no other way to describe the way that he's been playing right now for the San Diego Padres. A walk-off home run yesterday, his 11th of the season, and as of right now, he is my MVP in the National League. So we'll break down his wonderful performance against the Angels, which resulted in a walk-off win, and how he's been performing all season long for the Padres, who are just half a game back, despite not having much expectation coming into the season of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So we'll break that down and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. Welcome in, everybody, to 3 Up, 3 Down. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and before we get into the video, I know I've been away for a while. I was in Vegas for a bachelor party, so wasn't able to make content while I was away, but I'm glad to be back. Glad to be back home here in Canada. And Fernando Tatis Jr. really been taking the league by storm this year. He is the early favorite for the MVP in the National League. But before I get into all of that, I want to wish Oswaldo Cabrera well, who had a very gruesome freak injury happen to him in the last Yankees game, and that was scary. You could see that all of the players were rallying together, and they all weren't really sure what to think when that moment kind of went down, and wishing him all the best. Hopefully he can have a speedy recovery and get back to the game of baseball, but that did not look good. I don't want to show it to you guys. I don't want to have to see that again, but Oswaldo Cabrera, a warrior. And then once he was down, he asked Aaron Judge if he had scored, if he had touched the plate, because he kind of blacked out in that moment. But all the best to him, speedy recovery, and let's get into the episode. So Fernando Tatis leads the National League currently in wins above replacement. This is B-Wars, so not necessarily the most accurate stat, but right now he has a 3.1 wins above replacement, which is the best in the circuit, and he's been really impressive thus far. 11 home runs, as I mentioned in the introduction, 963 OPS, a 170 OPS plus. This guy's just tearing the cover off the ball, playing platinum glove level defense in right field with a cannon of an arm. You want a five-tool player? Well, Fernando Tatis is the definition of a five-tool player. He hits for average, hits for power, runs like the wind. He's going to steal a lot of bases this year. He has already. And like I said, the platinum glove defense and the cannon of an arm in the outfield. I mean, this guy is pretty close as you're going to get to a perfect player in Major League Baseball. The move to right field was the right one for him, and it has worked out greatly for the San Diego Padres. He's one of the most electric players in the game today, one of my favorite players to watch. And the Padres, as I mentioned off the top here, did not have too much expectation coming into the season. Like there was uncertainty surrounding Michael King, surrounding Dylan Cease. Nick Pivetta has been a nice surprise for them. They lost Tanner Scott to their division rivals, the Dodgers. So we were wondering, where is that production going to come from? They started off like a house on fire and kind of slowed down a little bit here.
I really
lately,
hope that they can compete
still
with
half
the
a
Dodgers
game back
come
of the
playoff
Dodgers
time, because that
for
would
number
be a
one
lot
in the West.
of fun to watch.
They're in a good spot, and I think they can actually win the division. I really do. They have a well-rounded team. I mean, they have an ace caliber pitcher in Michael King. They're getting contributions up and down that lineup, and I just like the construction of that roster. Do they have as much firepower as the Dodgers? No, but I believe that the depth is sort of similar, at least when we're talking about offense and maybe even starting pitching, with the way that they've been performing and the injuries that the Dodgers have gone through already. Blake Snell on the IL. You have Roki Sasaki, who also hit the IL recently. So some question marks there for the Dodgers. They are going to get back Shohei soon. They are going to get back Clayton Kershaw maybe towards the end of the season. So they're going to have some reinforcements, but you're not going to have 9 starting pitchers in the playoffs. It's just not something that teams do. So they're going to have some long and hard decisions to make when it comes to their rotation. I don't know if there's that many question marks when we're looking at the Padres starting rotation. So I like what they're doing over there. I'm really rooting for them in the NL West. It would be great for baseball if they can compete with the Dodgers and kind of put that narrative to bed that the Dodgers are buying World Series. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. But Fernando Tatis Jr., probably the best player in the game right now, the way that he's been playing, second best player behind Aaron Judge. But it's been a lot of fun to watch, and I will see you all tomorrow.